felt the long night searching for him. It began with silence, an unnatural, breath-holding stillness that settled over the countryside like a held prayer. No wind, no owl's cry. Even the distant river seemed to pause. Then the first snowflake landed on Lucian's gloved hand, glowing faintly crimson before fading back to white. Lucian closed his fingers. The reckoning had begun. For more than 2 centuries, winter had followed him like a shadow he could never outrun. Not the joy of it, not the warmth, but the reckoning, the reminder of blood spilled long ago beneath the sanctum bells and falling snow, when Dracula's name was carved into winter itself. And now, once again, it had led him home. Below the ridge lay the village of Thorn Valley, nestled between frost-bitten hills and a dark pine forest. Lanterns glimmered in the growing snow, each light a fragile defiance against the night. Wreaths of holly adorned doors. A great evergreen stood in the square, candles trembling in the cold. Christmas Eve was approaching. Lucian turned his collar up against the wind and began the descent. Thorn Valley had not seen a stranger in months, yet the villagers sensed him before they saw him. Doors closed softly, conversations hushed. Mothers drew children closer. The old fear lived deep here, passed down through generations like a winter heirloom. They knew the stories. They said Dracula once walked these lands during a winter of hunger and betrayal. They said Christmas night ran red with blood when villagers rose against him, desperate and terrified. They said the land itself remembered and cursed the bloodline that survived. Lucian Hale was that survival. He crossed the square slowly, boots crunching against ice. The great Christmas tree loomed overhead, candles glowing gold against the dark sky. Beneath it, children had left ribbons and wooden ornaments carved with wishes, peace, warmth, forgiveness. Lucian looked away. At the edge of the square stood the snowbound Crown Inn, its windows bright with firelight and music drifting out, an old carol gentle and aching with hope. He hesitated. He always did. At thresholds like this, warmth tempted memory. Still, he pushed the door open. Heat rushed over him, carrying the scents of pine, spiced cider, and fresh bread. The inn was alive with quiet celebration. A fiddler played near the hearth. Laughter flickered like candlelight. For a moment, Lucian almost forgot what he was. Then she looked up. She stood behind the counter, sleeves rolled to her elbows, dark hair pinned back loosely, a faint dusting of flour on her hands. Her eyes, soft brown, steady, met his without fear. "Good evening," she said. "You've come in from the storm." Lucian inclined his head. "If you have a room." "We do," she replied. "Not many travelers brave Thorn Valley in winter." "I've never been good at avoiding trouble," I said. A small smile touched her lips. "Neither has this village." She slid a key across the counter. Their fingers brushed, brief, accidental. Lucian felt the reckoning pulse, a low ache beneath his ribs. "I'm Margaret Vale," she said. "Most people call me Mara." Lucian Hale. Her brow flickered just slightly. She knew the name. Everyone did, but she did not step back. "Well," Mara said evenly, "you're welcome here, Lucian Hale. At least until the snow decides otherwise." Something in her tone, firm, kind, unsettled him more than fear ever had. That night, the storm thickened. Lucian stood at the narrow window of his room, watching snow pile against the sill. Midnight crept closer. He could feel it now, the pull of memory, the curse tightening like frost around his heart. The reckoning was not a spell, nor a ritual. It was consequence. Every Christmas Eve, the land demanded remembrance. If the past was ignored, winter deepened, cold lingered, someone innocent suffered. The reckoning did not care who paid, only that the debt was acknowledged. Lucien had fled before, again and again. This time, the village had faces. A knock sounded. Lucien opened the door to find Mara holding a mug of steaming cider. "For the cold," she said. "The rooms upstairs are drafty." "You shouldn't be kind to me," Lucien replied quietly. She met his gaze. "You look like someone who's gone a long way without kindness." He stepped aside, allowing her in. The firelight from the hall softened her features. She glanced around the room, noting the bare walls, the untouched bed. "You don't sleep much," she observed. "Not when winter comes," he said. Mara hesitated, then asked, "Are the stories true?" Lucien did not answer at once. "They're incomplete." She nodded slowly. "Then maybe this year, they don't have to end the same way." She left the cider on the table and slipped out before he could respond. Lucien stared at the door long after it closed. Morning revealed a village caught in ice. The river had frozen solid overnight. Frost traced sharp, unnatural patterns along stone walls and windows. Animals refused to leave their barns. Panic stirred beneath forced smiles and hurried preparations. Lucien moved through Thorn Valley, listening. "The winters never come this hard," one man muttered. "Christmas shouldn't feel like this," said another. "It's him," whispered a woman. "It always is." Lucien found Mara outside the inn, sweeping snow from the steps. "It's starting," he said. She stopped. "I know. You should tell everyone to leave." "And go where?" she asked. "The roads are closed." He hesitated. "By midnight, the reckoning will peak." Mara leaned on her broom. "Then tell me what it wants." Lucien looked toward the sanctum. Its bell tower rhymed with ice. Truth, and someone willing to face it. Her gaze sharpened. "Are you?" "I'm tired of running," he said firmly. "Then you won't face it alone," she said. As Christmas Eve wore on, the sky darkened to iron gray. The villagers gathered in the square at sunset, candles flickering in trembling hands. Carols rose, thin but determined, against the growing wind. Lucien stood near the tree, shadows clinging to him like an old habit. The air thickened, snow fell faster, heavier. Each flake glowed faintly, tinted crimson before fading to white. Fear rippled through the crowd. The sanctum bells rang once. Lucien staggered as memories surged. Dracula's fury, the firelit snow, the screams. He saw himself then, silent, obedient, choosing survival over mercy. The reckoning strengthened. He dropped to one knee. Mara pushed through the villagers and knelt beside him, gripping his arm. "Look at me," she said. "I don't deserve your faith," he rasped. "Faith isn't about deserving," she replied. "It's about choosing." The bells began to ring again, louder now, echoing across the frozen valley. Lucien rose. He turned to face the village. "This land was scarred by fear," he said, his voice carrying unnaturally far, "by a monster, and by people who became monsters in return." The wind howled, swirling crimson-tinted snow around him. "I carry that legacy," Lucien continued, "but I will not pass it forward." He stepped beneath the great Christmas tree, candles flickering above him. "Tonight, I choose mercy." The crimson glow faltered. Lucien spoke the truth aloud. Not accusations, not blame, but remembrance. Dracula's cruelty, the villagers' desperation, his own silence. The snow light dimmed, the bells softened. Then slowly, the crimson faded from the sky. Snow fell white once more. Silence spread, deep, stunned. Then a child laughed. Dawn broke pale and clear. Sunlight spilled across Thorn Valley, melting frost and ice. The river groaned, then flowed. The cold loosened its grip. The village breathed again. Lucian stood at the edge of the square, coat drawn close, ready to leave before hope tempted him too far. Mara found him there, holding a small wreath of holly tied with red ribbon. "For the road," she said. "I didn't free the reckoning forever," Lucian replied. "Winter will return." She smiled softly. "So will Christmas." He took the wreath, their fingers lingering a heartbeat longer than necessary. "If I stay," he said, "I bring danger. And if you go," she answered, "you bring memory. That matters too." Lucian bowed his head. "Thank you for seeing me." Mara met his gaze. "For choosing." As the first sanctum bells of Christmas morning rang, Lucian turned away, vanishing into the misted road beyond the village. Behind him, Thorn Valley glowed with candlelight and laughter. And every Christmas after, when snow fell softly and the bells rang clear, the villagers told a quieter story. Of a vampire who chose mercy, of a winter curse broken not by blood, but by truth, and of a winter that became at last a promise instead of a warning.